Hello, good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can all hear me. If you want, pop your comments. If you can hear me, someone pop a comment in. According to all of this, bear with me. It's the first time that I've used this software this evening, so if there are any glitches, I apologise. Hello, Claire. Hello, Selena. Hello, Sally Ann. Hello, Sarah. Gosh, lots of people. Kay, Joe, Annie. Oh, loads. I'm feeling the love right now. And I know that lots of you have messaged me as well and sent messages. There's my lovely glamorous assistant behind me here. By the wonders of technology, I'm coming to you live from the salon. That's actually a bit of a lie. I'm at home in my office, but by the wonders of technology, I've managed to green screen in so that we can all kind of feel like we're at the salon together. So, Sam's here as well. Good evening, Sam. So I've had lots and lots of emails asking me about home color. What shall I do? What am I going to do? And obviously, if you've kind of been following our Facebook page, you would have seen that I put out the other week that when we do reopen, we're going to give you 10% discount for every centimetre of root that you've ever that you've grown while we've been away. Excuse me. So we'll just wait for a few more people. Hello, Louise. Oh my God, I really am feeling the love. Thank you very much, everybody. So if you do have any questions you want me to answer, pop those in the comments box next to it here, and I'll answer those as we go along. The format of this evening is I'm going to kind of talk through and give you my step-by-step guide and my professional insight on box dye and on home colorants. In these extreme circumstances that we're currently in. And then if you kind of stay with me to the end, I've got some product advice and I've got some free products that people can win as well. So you'll be able to kind of grab yourself some free products from Evo. Hello, Zoe. Hello, Patrice. Hello, Siobhan. Hello, Nat. Oh my God, what a full room. I really am feeling the love. So like I say, pop your questions in the box there. So I don't know whether I know that a couple of people messaged me and they've already done a box dye and said, I wish that I knew you were doing this. So for those people, and in fact, one of the messages was, in fact, the fact that it had gone wrong and that they were now in a tricky position. So the first thing I think is really important, I kind of, step one when it comes to a hair dye, is obviously the color selection. So when you're selecting your color, it's essentially really, really important to make sure that you make the right choice. So when we select your color in salon, we do that obviously from a huge wealth of knowledge. And I think that that's the first point that really needs to be made about a box dye, is that as hairdressers, we obviously do a minimum of 3 years education, and color is seen as a specialist subject on top of that. And hairdressing, professional color is entirely different to your box dye at home. So your salon color and your home color are entirely different. There are some similarities that I'm going to talk about when we get to step two. So the first thing is that selecting your color is really, really complicated and very in depth, and needs you to carry out a thorough analysis of your hair. And this is obviously best done with a knowledge of the products that you're using. And so the essence of this is that, if you saw the picture that I posted of the supermarket shelf that is absolutely kind of plastered, It's like a myriad of box colors and different things there. It's very difficult to make that choice. So step one is choosing the color. My first advice is that essentially, if you don't have any hairdressing background, any technical knowledge, and any understanding of the box that you're buying, then don't buy it. So step one really is kind of don't buy the color in the first place. And so I feel a bit mean, because I kind of lured people in by saying that I was going to give you my step-by-step, and my step-by-step stops at step one. And step one is don't do it. And there are lots of reasons why. And the problem is that you kind of essentially is that as hairdressers, we have a massive wealth of knowledge. And obviously myself, I've been hairdressing 24 years and I have a degree in the subject of hair color. And it is really, really, really complicated. The difference between a box dye and a professional dye are two entirely different things. So a box dye, first of all, won't deliver the same results. And what you need to understand is that those companies are selling that just to make money. And I remember that once when I did my color specialist degree, that I asked, and it was for a very big company, a very big French color company that makes a lot of hair products, and I'll leave it at that. They feature again later on in a minute when I show you some information. But I asked one of the heads there, is that you say you're a professional brand, so why is it that you promote so much like high street color? You know, essentially you say that you're a professional brand, why do you promote so much high street color? And the response was as blunt as this: it's basically about money. If we don't make it, someone else will, and another company will earn that money. And ultimately, we know that at some point it will go wrong and the client will be forced to come and have it corrected in your salon. And color correction earns you more money. So it's a really kind of nasty industry in as much as it's actually set up to hope that you fail and that it goes wrong at some point. And obviously there's that context of when I listen to those stories about when people have done stuff wrong, quite often the embarrassment of kind of getting it wrong means that effectively what people do then is they go and get another box dye, another box dye, another box dye, and start correcting it. And before you know it, you've bought 4 box dyes and you still don't have the color that you want. Now, obviously we've been I've been asked a lot about, you know, different things and different products and can I recommend anything. So myself and the team can't recommend anything to you right now that isn't something that we don't already stock in the salon that we know is 100% safe. We also have some very, very loose and kind of open to interpretation laws in the United Kingdom. And so, for example, one of the things I get asked about an awful lot of the time is, well, what about wash in, wash out color? And what you need to understand about wash in, wash out color is what they're actually referring to is the method of application, in that you wash it into your hair, you wash it out, and then you blow dry it. The color itself does not wash in and wash out in terms of whether it's left a residue. The moment that you mix 2 parts together, so if in your box dye, you mix 2 separate parts of color together, or you twist a bottle, which causes 2 different components to mix, the color you are using has a permanent color molecule and oxidant in it. So the moment that you do that, you've actually put some form of permanent color into the hair. And this is where it can then get really complicated. So some people may be tempted to do it and like pop a color on and think, well, that's okay, you know, I got away with it, etc. So the next thing is that one of the things that most people are asking me about is that they want to cover their grey hair, their white hair. And believe you me, it's probably something that I could do with doing myself. So the thing is, doing your hair in a computer screen is quite interesting because you go the opposite way. It's that whole, like, now I know how clients feel when they're trying to do their own hair. Like, sorry. So that entertained me a little bit there. So the thing is that most of you will be wanting to color your hair to get white hair coverage and to get rid of your gray. And the products that are on the high street are probably not going to do that. And the reason for this is that they can't be made in a format to contain the right amount of pigment for safety that would give you effective coverage. And the reason that you kind of, I'm just laughing at Sarah's comment, which is don't do the curtains. So that would take us right back to the 80s if I start parting it down the middle. But the thing to bear in mind is that if you are using this home colorant, what you're not going to do is you're not going to get effective white hair coverage. And this again comes back to money. The high street wants you to buy color repeatedly. And so when you're using home colorant, you'll normally find that you're coloring your hair some people every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, but most definitely every 4 weeks. Now, for those of you that are clients, you'll know that we don't see that our color clients more frequently than every 6 weeks. And that's because of the color that we use is durable and gives 100% coverage and blend of white hair. You are not going to get this from a box dye. So you are going to be forced into not doing it once, but doing it repeatedly during the lockdown period. Now, the problem with this is the chemicals in there are not high quality. So this is the next big difference between a high street color and a salon color. A salon professional color contains very, very expensive ingredients. And that's part of the reason for the difference in price between high street and between a salon color. And obviously the expertise of the person that's applying it and their knowledge to ensure that you get a safe result. So with these home colorants, when you're reapplying that, you are reapplying ammonia, peroxide, and the pigment all over the hair. And it's very, very difficult to get that application correct. And what we frequently see as hairdressers when home dye has been used or home dye has been overused is you start to get what we call banding. And quite often where clients aren't getting the coverage first time at the root area, they're applying it again and getting it by building up the color. And this leads to that residue and that really flat, like blackboard looking matte hair, where the hair becomes overloaded with pigment. And obviously a key thing about kind of feeling good and looking good, which is what all this is about, is, and I say this to clients all the time, and I know Sarah's on here and she's someone that preaches this because it was part of my consultation with her when she first came to the salon, is that you know, kind of, I get asked all the time, should I go lighter when I'm older because, you know, dark hair? Look, the only thing that is aging on people is hair that is in poor condition. And so when you see those people who've got built up color in their hair, it's not the fact that the hair's dark that's really unflattering. It's the fact that the hair's usually in poor condition. Healthy, shiny, great conditioned hair is the most youthful and anti-aging thing you can have. And box dyes will take this away from you. So it's really essential to understand that also it's not that you might get away with it the once, but it's then the long-term effect. Does the same apply for trying to color more to grey? I'll come back to that, Em. Thank you very much. So with these home colorants, you need to understand that you're kind of being trapped into a cycle. They don't want you to buy the box color once. They want you to buy the box color 3-4 times. And it's usually around about the fourth application where you start to get a problem. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm saying to you, if you do it once, it's not a problem, because the other problem that we have when you return back to the salon is lots of these boxes have chemicals in them that are not compatible with professional color. And they can cause severe reactions and breakage and damage. One of these things is metallic salts, which can quite often be found, and it's in things like henna and different things like that, that then when you put a professional color on, in fact, you'll almost see smoke coming off the hair because it actually causes the hair to burn and break away. So if you do use a box dye in between, it may mean that when you come back to us, that it is a much more complicated process. And at this point, I haven't even discussed if it goes wrong. So quite often, you know, that color selection goes drastically wrong for people. You can't just stick, you know, like what you have to understand is that color does not lift color. So when you have brunette on your hair, and if that's dyed brunette, you cannot go and buy a blonde box and stick that on your hair and your hair go blonde. It will go ginger at the roots and you will end up with a dirty, odd color through the ends and causing a lot of damage because these colors are loaded with lots of ammonia. And the ammonia is A, what smells, and B, what causes a lot of the damage. So you can see now that it's an absolute minefield. And understand that the reason that I put this video out and that I said a step by step on how to color your hair is because even people were still asking me, and I kind of started to feel a little bit like I was repeating the same old thing, and essentially that I couldn't kind of explain it over an email, etc. And so I felt the best thing to do was a video. Interestingly, I kind of felt like I'd reached a new part of my life today where I actually got trolled online, because that's never happened to me before. So I kind of felt a bit like a celebrity all of a sudden, because a couple of hairdressers got on and told me that I needed to be reported, that I should be banned, and all of these kind of things. So kind of like, it's very funny, and my message to them was, maybe you should watch the webinar first and see what I actually have to say, because if I put a webinar up that said like my step-by-step on why not to color your hair, that's what everybody's telling you at the moment, or that's what everybody's saying to you, and really not explaining it. And so I wanted this to be my opportunity to explain to you exactly the reasons why. I think the next most important bit, and I cannot emphasize this enough to people, is that what you need to be aware of, and many people do this when they're coloring their hair, when you open the box, it will say on there that you need to carry out a patch test. Now, you'll know that at House of Brooks, we are absolutely insane about patch tests, and people are, I've had my hair colored, etc., etc. And the fact of the matter is that like the reaction that you can get to a hair color is really quite severe. So I'm just going to pop this up for you so you can see. I'll move that way, which will be slightly better. So there's a picture here just showing you like how severe that reaction can be, the before and after. And the article at the top there, I think is really important to pay attention to, because ultimately it's death, and it's not essentially death the first time. And this was quite a famous case in the industry. She wasn't going to a salon, she was box dyeing at home. And in fact, the process had gone on over a 12-month period. And she was having small, tiny allergic reactions each time she colored her hair, until in the end, she went into complete anaphylaxis, went into a coma, and left, I think it was 2-3 children without a mother. So please understand this. The reason that we train, and the reason that we're highly insured and in what we do, is because ultimately that you are messing with, okay, you're messing with your own safety and ultimately your life. And right now, you know, kind of, it's that whole point that I can't help but bring it back to the fact that we're all in self-isolation in an attempt to protect ourselves and to protect each other and to save lives. And so it seems ironic in that people should be rushing out and buying a box dye. And I would love to know what the percentage of people is that actually carry out the patch test before doing the box color. And that can be done, and it says it on the top there. The other thing to bear in mind as well, and I kind of was a bit annoyed today. I heard Amanda Holden on the radio, and it wasn't hearing her that annoyed me, but it was what she said. And she said that her daughter, because she was off school, wanted to color her hair pink. And so some company had sent her a pink dye, because apparently you can't get them, they've sold out, etc. And she was going to color her daughter's hair this evening. It's what she was doing with pink hair dye. Now, just to emphasize this to you, the point on this is that if you actually open up a box color, you will see in the box color that it says in yellow writing, by law, okay, not intended for use on persons under the age of 16. So I know lots of schools have lots of laws, and having been in education before myself, that lots of schools have in place that the children can't color their hair. And, you know, and kind of, in my opinion, rightly so, it's something that we can all wait to do until we're older. And so with this, it's actually against health and safety law because they stand a much, much higher chance of having an allergic reaction. So as much as whilst the kids are off school, they might be applying pressure right now to you all to say, oh, mum, come on, it doesn't matter. Please, can I colour my hair? Get me a box dye. And they're driving you mad homeschooling. And it's really easy to do that. Please, please, please do not put a box dye on your child's hair, because when they do go back to school, again, we cannot do anything to correct that colour. So because they're under the age of 16, we're not allowed to use any form of professional permanent colour that contains any form of PPD or PTD or any of the other colour molecules that you can have an allergic reaction to. So please ignore Amanda Holden. Do not start colouring your children's hair just because they're off school. So with that as well, so that's the patch test and the safety thing, is that really I can't ascertain to you enough how much. And again, you know, even though, and it's this whole thing as well about how many people actually read the instructions or just open the box and just kind of get on with it and go, I've coloured it before, and it's not even the same brand that you've used. You know, they're all different. And I think there's an important point on that, you know, as a salon, obviously we are committed and have to stay with one brand, and that's because the team are trained highly on the use of that professional product. And so on the use of that professional product, we get all of our education. And so essentially what I'm trying to say is that we don't chop and change color brands overnight, and we don't use a different brand each time you come, because that would warrant and need lots and lots of education for the team to be able to work safely and effectively on your hair. So when you're in the supermarket or the chemist and you're switching, you know, and people do it all the time, I hear it all the time, well, I just buy whatever's on offer, or sometimes I use that one, or sometimes I use that one. Now, when we switch color brand in a salon, this is a process that takes round about 2 to 3 months in transition, and in fact probably 6 months for the staff to go through their full education to be competent and fully educated in that color brand. And this is a decision that people on the high street are making based on price and in 5 minutes. So again, it's so deceptive, and I kind of, like, to all of you, I kind of sound like I'm ranting and having a go, but I just feel that it's such a, you know, in the world that we live in, it's so easy to be drawn in. It's so easy to believe the hype on the box and to think that this one product is going to cure all of your ills. And you know, you can't do that kind of thing overnight. Like Sarah, again, like chatting before, you know, when she said about her hair and using the products, you know, and it's something I say to clients all the time, like, this is a hair journey, and it's about where you want your hair to be in 3, 6, 12 months time, and being honest and upfront with clients about how we're going to go on that journey and achieve it. And for me and the team, paramount is always condition, is always healthy, great looking, easy to manage hair. And anything that would cause that to change on a client's head is not something we would do. So I think it's essential there. So with the box dye, I really, really hope that I've clarified for you the reasons why. You asked again about, I see Connery there, who's joined us, asked about grey hair coverage. Look, to sum that up on a professional level, grey hair coverage is really quite a specialist area in some respects in itself. And when people can have resistant hair and all of those kind of things, it warrants, even with us with professional color, we have to approach that in a different manner. And so that's quite often when you find that people then start repeatedly, and again, it's kind of a bit insidious really, because the companies know it. So because you're paranoid about your grey hair, so you're going to keep buying it. So you're going to keep buying the product to try and get better and better coverage. And that's like, you know, and that's kind of what they want you to do, is to keep spending money on that thing. And, you know, kind of, because the more you put on, the more it will cover it up. I just want to say to everybody to please resist the box dye. I do have lots of plans for when we reopen, and fun things that we're going to do. Like I say, we're going to give you 10% discount straight away for every centimetre of roots, and we're going to shout that out to any new client as well. Now, Em's asking me about enhancing grey hair, which is great. Honestly, it's going to feel like now like I planted you in the room, Em. So some of the things that you can do in the meantime to help with the grey hair, kind of, and those things, is that while we're away, and I've got some other webinars coming up, if people would, I kind of judge it this evening and see whether you want some more webinars. You know, if you want more webinars, then I'm happy to do them, because I kind of I'm connecting with you all. It's very weird talking to a screen and reading messages, but I've had really lovely messages and thumbs up, and, you know, it's really heartwarming for me that so many of you have given up your time to listen to what this boring old hair codger has got to say this evening. One of the other webinars I wanted to do was about how to do home hair treatments. And, you know, and I think we should really take this opportunity at the moment, whilst we're kind of away, is that when we do come back, this is a great opportunity for you all to get your hair in amazing tip-top condition. So if you would like some more webinars, and certainly I don't mind doing them on specific subjects, and even if it's styling, obviously I can, my lovely assistant here, I'm going to get rid of that horrible picture because it's starting to make me feel a bit bad. And then we will answer Emma's question about there we go. So if you have got any questions now, not just about hair color, pop them in there. So one of the things that Emma was asking about was enhancing grey hair. So you may have seen earlier on that I popped that there were some free product giveaways, and I'm going to go through that and how you can win them at the end. But certainly, Emma, this is a product for you. One of the things that we have done as well, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So using coloured conditioners, at the moment, we do several in the salon. This is Evo Fabuloso Pro. It's platinum. Now, platinum will really brighten up grey hair. So if you're suffering with the problem of your grey hair looking dull and you want it to be brighter, that certainly does come down to shampoos and conditioners. So with that is that kind of a lot of high street shampoos will leave a residue on your hair, and that residue means that the environment can stick to it, and so it can discolor, and that's quite often when you can get that yellowy tinge to grey hair, or it just kind of feels flat and lackluster. So the first thing is using a really good shampoo. And interestingly, the webinar that I'm going to do about home treatments has some stuff in there about how you can cleanse that color out and cleanse that discoloration. So then obviously what you're going to do then is that obviously kind of we use the color wheel, and platinum counteracts yellow. So using a platinum like this one, the Evo Platinum Fabuloso, kind of like, it's very weird, this whole camera thing. So this one here, this retails at, I think it's £30, but in here you've probably got enough for 10 applications, and you'll be wanting to do it probably once every 4 weeks. So you're kind of getting on for a year's worth in here, really. And what this won't do is it will just basically brighten, enhance, and give an amazing shine to the color. So we also have as well, for those of you who are, let me get rid of that question thing again, I said I was going to do. Let's go. There we go. Just an empty screen, just me now. Oh, that's easier. So then also we have like a cool brown in this as well. So and in fact, these are some of the giveaways that are coming up at the end of this webinar. So you have to, it's mean of me making you stick around to the end to win something. So the with these as well, they're not going to give you amazing coverage, but what they're going to do is they're going to blend and soften that regrowth, and they're really going to bring back to life the remaining part of your color. So I'm sure that most of you feel that when you kind of always been to the salon and you've had your hair colored, obviously it generally feels like shinier and glossier all over. And so
the kind of part of that is the fact that the color's been refreshed through the ends, so that's going to give you back that kind of just salon colored feel. We do these in several colors. Now these aren't live on the website, so what you can also do is the where's I'm looking for my thing now, is I'm just going to share my screen with you. God knows what might happen now. Share screen. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. So this is the new House of Brooks store. If you haven't been there yet, you need to whiz over there. So one of the things, for those of you that think I've been a bit quiet for a few days, I was busy building a brand new website and kind of getting that launched for you so that you could have that. So if I'll pop up there the link. So not everything at the moment is available on there, but if I pop that up for you now, you should be able to see the web address. So you can get to it for as well via the our existing website. Just click on shop, but it is actually www.houseofbrooksstore. Now, if any of you want an actual one-to-one consultation, I can do that via video for you whilst we're away. And all you need to do is go to the My Online Stylist that's on the website, and you can book a Zoom consultation or a telephone consultation, or there's a form there that you can fill out. I've done a couple of consultations today. They were great to kind of touch base with clients and answer their more personal questions on a one-to-one. So, and you can just book all of that. They're all free of charge, and you can book that through the website. And then I'll give you a personal product recommendation. So to answer the thing about brightening grey hair, some of that will come in the webinar about treatments, but certainly using a deep cleansing shampoo, which I'm going to talk about there, and then using the coloured conditioners to brighten. So one of the other things that I wanted to show you this evening is how many of you are brunette and have grey roots. So this is Water Killer Brunette by Evo. And these are some of the things that we're going to be giving away. And I'm going to show you how to do that afterwards, how you can win one of these. So this is actually a dry shampoo, but it's a coloured dry shampoo. So if you can see there on my hand, just that light spray. So this is amazing for covering up your roots in between at the moment. I've got 10 of these to give away this evening. I'm going to tell you how you're going to win that afterwards. What you'll see here as well is that it's actually really, it doesn't move. So you don't need to worry. It will just brush out. I'm going to have to get the hang of this camera thing. You're going to have to, it will brush out, but it will give you amazing coverage, and it will reduce down the need of wanting to shampoo. So that is a really great kind of thing for in between at the moment. Unfortunately, we don't have a blonde one. But there are kind of a few things that I've been thinking about with styling tips to kind of show you how to do it. And as most of us are connecting online, one of the things that I've been trying to put together is you're only seeing this bit essentially. So I'm going to kind of put together some maybe cheat hairdos for sitting on a webcam that make you look like you kind of you've got like hidden your roots and different things like that. Oh, nearly did the 80 center part then. So I can't do this whole, like, if I do any how-tos, the whole computer is gonna that's really slick. Hang on. There we go. No, it's dreadful. See, even hairdressers have bad hair. There, that's it. So that's the Water Killer Brunette. So I'm going to tell you how to win that. So go over to the House of Brooks store. Claire, yes, we do have blue ones. Joe, so I hope Joe won't mind me sharing this, but I had a message from a client this week saying, oh my God, like it's carnage in my bathroom. And she's just put there, it's carnage in my bathroom, I'll never do it again. And I think that's the other thing to say as well, is that like I've had so many horror stories where people have then done the home colorant and actually ended up like trashing towels, coloring grout, ruining shower curtains. And so that's kind of another kind of big reason really is that they're a false economy. They're totally a false economy in that sense. I'm just going to scroll through. I think I've covered most people's questions. Hello, Carl. I just want to say to you as well, a big shout out to my team, to Ben and to Chris and to Carl. Just to let you know that what the guys have been doing on a daily basis is they've actually been meeting online and doing training, and they've been doing color training and creating new mood books and everything. So they're really working hard to make sure that when we open the door behind me, if only it was behind me, when we open the door behind me, that they're super skilled up and ready to go. I've got some other exciting things I'm going to do. Obviously, everybody's patch test is going to have expired, but I think we're going to be having a patch test party. So we're going to be having a party before we open the salon where you can all come along, have a drink with us, and then get your patch test done. So we're going to throw what we call a patch test party so that everybody can have their skin test done. Did that answer? My dark hair is now going very great. The roots, and I now love it. Very silver, and I want that hold of my head. You like that? I mean, we'll definitely be buying your products. Oh my God, my just told me about this product. Okay, if you are growing out dark hair on the ends, there is stuff that we can do when we open, or if you want to book an online consultation and have a Zoom, and I can do a one-to-one and have a look at your color and give you some more specific advice. I've just scrolling back up through the questions. If I've missed your question, please just ask it again. Who says men can't multitask? I think that's basically everything covered. Who would like to win some products? No one? Who wants to win some products? So like I say, I've got 10. I've got 10 of these that are kind of going a bit funny now. That's the green screen, the magic of the green screen. So I've got 10 of these lovely handbag size, which is ample, water killer brunettes to give away. And this is how you're going to win them. So I just need to do one thing, and then I can tell you to go for it. So if you go over to www.houseofbrooks.store, so www.houseofbrooks.store, there's no .com, it's just .store, or go to the normal website and click shop or store there. When you get through, you'll get a pop-up that says win, win, win. The first 10 people to give their email and add that onto the list, okay, will get an email from me telling me that telling them that they've won, and I will send you out a oh my God, that light's a bit bright. No one needs to see that in that kind of context. And you'll get an email from me to arrange how we're going to send out those products to you. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar. My lighting's going to go in a minute. It's going to go a bit funny, so I'm kind of losing my green screen behind me. I could just actually ask nicely to Ben, obviously back at home on the sofa, if I just shout from here from Bexhill to St Leonard's, and he might actually pop the light on for me so that I don't lose my background. Just like so I can see from Bexhill to St Leonard's. So I think that what you said about the this is true. I once had a really bad, so someone there that's had a bad reaction. I think it's important to kind of clarify as well is that with that anaphylaxis, the reason I put the story up about the young mum was the fact that, you know, like the thing that was quite unique about the young mum was that she basically had the reaction over time. So it wasn't a one color reaction. It was it built up over time, and so over kind of a period of time. Guys, I would love to do another webinar. I'm a bit blown away that I had quite so many. I think we were just under 50 at one point. I've kept you long enough. I would like to say to you all though, cheers. kind of thank you so much for all of the lovely messages. I've had lots of people asking how they can support. You can still buy gift vouchers online on the House of Brooks. Just click gift voucher on the salon website, not on the store. And obviously, a great way that you can continue to support us and obviously make sure that your hair stays in great condition is continue to buy your products now from the store. If what you normally have isn't on there, just email me. You can email me at store@houseofbrooks.com or just send me a Facebook message and I'll get them. We are adding products on a daily basis. So I'm an IT whiz kid now as well. Apparently I do webinars and all sorts. Thank you so much. Chika, I don't know where she is. I mean, I suppose really I could probably just grab her quickly and see whether I can say, because lots of people are asking me about Chika. 2 seconds. Bobby, come here. Come on. Come on. Come here, Bobby. Oh, okay. Look, who's this? So here she is. She's just like, you're doing the webinar, babe. Babe, you're doing the webinar. Come here. There, look. Okay. Say hello to everyone. You wave. Hello. Okay. She's been living her best life, having both dads at home. She's probably gonna. You're gonna stay there, or are you going? What are you doing? You're going to stay there now in my way. So thank you so much to everybody for tuning in this evening. Please just email me your other ideas that you would like. As Chika destroys the pretend salon. Please email me and message me the things that you'd like to see in future webinars. Everybody, please remember, please do stay home, protect the NHS and save lives. The sooner we all do that, the sooner we can all kind of get back to, I don't know, some kind of normal reality. Like I say, cheers to you all. You can stay in touch, book a consultation online, all of those things. And that's it from me, really. I will see you on whatever other time that we do the webinar. I think 7 o'clock seems to work quite well. And so maybe I'll aim to do about 2 a week. Okay. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you again